Someone is going to read your name out loud on the Day of Judgment. Not your accomplishments, not your prayers, not how many times you finished the Quran this Ramadan, your name. And next to it, a debt you owe to a human being who is still alive right now, still breathing, still carrying something you put on them. And you have been too comfortable, too proud, or too busy to go pick it up. You know exactly who I am talking about. You did not have to think. They appeared instantly. The moment I said those words, one face came to you, one name, one conversation that ended wrong, one door you closed and never opened again. That is not coincidence. That is your conscience doing the one job it was built to do. And Eid is in a few days. So before you buy those clothes, before you make that food, before you hug those people and say the words Eid Mubarak with a smile on your face, while that name is still sitting unresolved in your chest, you need to hear this. Because what I am about to tell you is something most Islamic content will never say to your face. Not because it is unknown, but because it is uncomfortable. And uncomfortable truths do not get views. They do not get shares. They do not make people feel warm and inspired, but they change lives. And right now, changing your life is more important than making you feel good. So stay with me. There is a concept in Islam that most Muslims have heard, but very few have actually sat with long enough to feel its full weight. It is called Haqooq Ibaad, the rights of people. And the reason it matters so much right now, in these final days before Eid, is this. The Prophet, peace be upon him, made something crystal clear. Allah will forgive what is between you and him. Every sin, every moment of weakness, every night you fell short, His mercy covers all of it. But the rights of people, what you owe to another human being, those are not released by Allah until that human being releases you first. Let that land. Allah, who is Al-Ghafur, Al-Rahim, the one whose mercy stretches across everything that has ever existed. Even He does not override the right of the person you hurt. Even He holds that space open and says, this one is not mine to settle. This one is between you and them. That is not a small statement. That is one of the most sobering realities in all of Islam. And most people will go into Eid having never thought about it once. They will pray, they will give zakat, they will fast the 6 days of Shawwal, they will do everything on the list, and they will walk around with the unresolved name in their chest and call themselves ready. They are not ready. And if you are honest with yourself right now, you know whether you are ready or not. So let us talk about what actually happened. Not in a vague general way, specifically, because the human brain is built to avoid specifics when specifics are painful. It loves to stay abstract. It loves to think about concepts instead of confronting people. So I am going to force the specifics right now, and I need you to stay present. Think about the last time you genuinely hurt someone, not accidentally bumped into them, not a small misunderstanding. I mean, the moment where you said something you cannot take back, where you walked away and left someone smaller than you found them, where you chose your pride over their dignity, where you knew what the right thing was and you chose the easier thing instead. That moment exists. For most people, it exists more than once. And here is the part that nobody talks about. The longer you leave it unaddressed, the more your brain rewrites it. That is not a spiritual statement. That is literal psychology. The human brain has a mechanism called motivated reasoning. Over time, without you even noticing, it slowly shifts the story. It adds details that were not there. It removes the parts where you were wrong. It elevates the parts where they were wrong. And after enough time passes, you genuinely start to believe that you are more victim than you are offender. This is why people go years without apologizing. Not because they are evil, but because their brain quietly convinced them that there is nothing to apologize for. And Shaitan does not need you to become a monster. He just needs you to become slightly deluded, slightly comfortable, slightly convinced that your version of the story is the true version. That is enough. That is all he needs to keep that door closed between you and another human being forever. So here is the antidote, and it is simple. Not easy, simple. Go back to the moment before your brain rewrote it. Not the version you tell people, not the version where you were provoked. The original moment, the raw, unedited version. What did you actually do? What did you actually say? And if someone else had done that exact thing to you, how would you have felt? That question right there, that single question, applied honestly, destroys about 90% of the justifications people carry. Because we judge ourselves by our intentions and we judge others by their actions. That is the default human setting. You know why you did what you did, so it feels forgivable. They do not know your reasons, so it felt like a wound. But from where they were standing, they just got hurt. And they are still standing there. Now, I want to speak to the people who are watching this and thinking, okay, but I was also wronged. I also deserve an apology, and they have not given me one. So why should I go first? That is a fair thought, and I am not going to dismiss it. But I want to ask you something. How long have you been waiting? Weeks, months, years? And in all that time, has the waiting made you lighter or heavier? Has holding on to it given you more peace or less peace? Has the other person's life gotten worse while you waited? Or have they moved on while you are still sitting in the same room with the same pain? Carrying resentment does not punish the other person. It punishes you. It takes up space in your chest that was meant for something better. It colors every Eid, every gathering, every quiet moment with a shadow that was never supposed to live there. And here is what Dr. Omar Suleiman says about this that I want you to hold on to. He says that the people who forgive are not weak. They are the ones who understood early what most people only figure out at the end. That peace is not given to you. Peace is chosen by you every single day. And the people who wait for the other person to come first, they are not waiting for justice. They are waiting for permission to feel okay. And that permission never comes from outside. It only ever comes from within. So if you are the one who was wronged, forgive. Not for them, for you. Not because they deserve it, because you deserve Eid. You deserve to walk into that morning without chains. You deserve to make dua with a clean heart instead of a bitter one. Free yourself. The account between them and Allah is already open. That is handled. Your job is to protect your own heart. And if you are the one who caused the wound, then you already know what you need to do. The only question is whether you will actually do it. Here is the honest truth. Most people will watch this video, feel something in their chest, say subhanallah, maybe even share it, and then do nothing. That is the most common response to content like this. Emotion without action, feeling without follow through. The moment passes, the day moves on, and the name stays unresolved. Do not be that person. The window you have right now is not permanent. The softness that Ramadan put in your heart, that does not last forever. In a few weeks, the routine comes back. The ego hardens again. The justifications get louder again. And what felt urgent today will feel optional in a month and invisible in a year. Right now, in this moment, your heart is closer to the truth than it will be for the rest of the year. Use it. Pick up the phone, send the message, show up at the door if you have to. You do not need a perfect speech. You do not need the ideal moment. You do not need them to be ready or willing or warm. You just need to say the words. I was wrong. I am sorry. I should not have waited this long. However, it needs to come out. Let it come out. An imperfect apology delivered today is worth 1,000 perfect ones that stay in your head forever. And if they do not respond well, that is okay. You are not doing this to get a reaction. You are doing this because on the day of judgment, when your name is called and your ledger is opened, you want to be the one who tried. You want to be the one who went back. You want to be the one who lowered their ego before Eid, not the one who waited until it was too late and the chance was gone. There is a version of you that walks into Eid morning feeling genuinely clean, not just dressed well, not just ritually prepared, but clean. The kind of clean that comes from having done the hard thing, from having made the call, from having said the words, from having freed yourself and freed someone else at the same time. That version of you is possible right now, today. So before this ends, before you close this and go back to your day, I want you to do one thing. Just one. Take out your phone, open the contact, type the message. You do not even have to send it yet if you are not ready. Just type it, because the moment you type it, something shifts. The brain stops protecting the wall and starts looking for the door. And once you find the door, walking through it is easier than you think. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said the strong person is not the one who can overpower others. The strong person is the one who controls themselves when they are angry. And I would add to that, the truly strong person is the one who goes back, who returns, who says I was wrong even when every part of their ego screams that they should not have to. That is strength. That is Islam. That is what Ramadan was trying to build in you for 30 days. Do not waste it on silence. May Allah make your Eid the beginning of something real. Not just a day of celebration, but a day of renewal. May He soften the hearts that need softening. May He give courage to the people who need to speak and peace to the people who need to forgive. And may every single one of us walk into that Eid prayer carrying nothing we were not supposed to carry. Eid Mubarak. Now go handle it.